What a story we got here, y'all. What a story we got here. So this is in the New York Post. Nursing home hires stripper for seniors in wheelchairs. Quote, "We are very sorry." So you can see, I think this was originally a video, but you can see, I just have a still frame of it here for you. There's a stripper. This is one of the dudes in the wheelchair. He's getting a lap dance. By the way, I can confirm he was grabbing some titty. We have confirmation that there was titty grabbage going on. So here's what they say in the article in the New York Post. This probably wasn't a proper setting to set pulses racing. A nursing home has been forced to apologize for hiring a stripper to perform for senior citizens in wheelchairs. The Taiwan Veterans Home, a state-run facility. Jesus, that's surprising. I don't know why. I thought it was much more like it was a privately run facility that did this. For the state to do this, that's really something. A state-run facility for retired Army personnel in Taiwan paid the adult entertainer for a steamy show to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival, an important holiday in Chinese culture whereby people gather to celebrate the rice and wheat harvest of the season. Video of the raunchy performance, which took place last Thursday, was filmed by an attendee before it was posted to social media and quickly went viral. The kinky clip shows the masked-up erotic dancer clad in lacy lingerie giving one elderly man a lap dance and thrusting her breasts into his face. The man doesn't appear to mind. Shock. However, and can be seen squeezing the woman's assets as she enthusiastically writhes her body. Other nursing home residents clapped along enthusiastically, seeming to relish the raunchy show. But the senior care facility was hit with backlash and subsequently released a statement saying, "The intention of the event was to entertain residents and make them happy. We are very sorry for the offense that was caused." So we have more pictures here. We got little legs spread action here, showing all the goodies, as Ciara would say. Sierra. Why do I struggle with that one too? It's weird. The rules on the A's, because we've had this debate. Mario versus Mario. New York, we say Mario. A lot of people say Mario, right? But then with Sierra, I just flipped it. I did the soft A. Ciara. But she says Sierra. So it's the hard A. I'm more team hard A. If I ever fuck up on that with any word, I got to go back to the hard A. Anyway, I digress. Massively off topic. So now, by the way, hilarious. She's wearing a mask. I love how she's wearing a mask during this performance. There's something that's extra funny about that. Like, if she was butt-ass naked, but wearing a mask, would that, like, heighten the contradictions a little bit more for people? I don't know, but I find that funny. And only some of the people in the audience are wearing masks. Now, this is when they're really getting down here, as you can see. Really getting down. A nursing home spokesman added that Mid-Autumn Festival parties had been canceled at the nursing home in the previous 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. To lift resident spirits, they arranged for the stripper to perform a show. However, they conceded that erotic dancers' actions were too enthusiastic and fiery, and they would be more cautious when planning such events in the future. All right, so let me pause here because I find that hilarious. So they're saying, okay, yeah, we get it. It was the dancer was too enthusiastic and fiery. Well, hold on now. So are you saying it would be okay if you had the stripper and the stripper was like morose and solemn and like dancing unenthusiastically, like, yeah, here are my titties. You want me to shake my ass? Okay, here I go. Like, what a weird thing to say. Don't dance so enthusiastically and fiery. You have to look angry and upset as you do your little striptease and your dance for these elderly folks. That's just such a weird thing to say, because the implication is like, well, if it wasn't enthusiastic and fiery, everybody would be cool with it. Okay. They said there was also a more sedate game of bingo and some karaoke in an adjoining nursing hall. I love that. Like, not everybody had to see the titties. Not everybody had to see them. It was also, we were playing bingo. We were, singing. So the titties were optional. We didn't force people like, you must look at the titties. We didn't do that. Video shows that the residents and the stripper remained COVID safe at all times, however, keeping face masks on throughout the erotic show. Okay. Another picture here you can see. She seemed to like this man in particular. There's a lot of pictures with this man in particular. Smiling, everybody's having a good time, people clapping. The Mid-Autumn Festival is one of the most important holidays in Asian culture. In China, the celebration is marked by reunions, Thanksgiving for harvest, and prayer for good fortune. The annual event, which this year fell on September 10th, is also known as the Moon Festival or Moon Cake Festival. Okay. So, there you go. There you go. Now, I don't even think I need to give my take on this because it should be really obvious to everybody. Man, let these old people live. They don't have much longer to live, that's for sure. Why not let them have a good time? You know, this is a professional outlet. This woman is, I'm sure she's paid well. I'm sure that this is something she's actively chosen to do. Nobody's forcing her to do this. Of course, if anybody was forcing anybody to do something like that, I would oppose it immediately, but there's no indication that that's the case at all. You know, we live in a world where strippers are a thing. They exist. It is illegal for them to exist. You want to talk about the sociological implications and how we got to that point and what we can do to change the system so maybe people don't feel like they have to go into a field like that. I'm open to that conversation. I think that's all a fair conversation. But the fact of the matter is, the facts of this case, based on what we know, stripper was paid to go to a nursing home, show these people who are going to die in like 17 minutes a good-ass time. Everybody seemed to be enjoying it. Everybody seemed to be having fun. And then you get a bunch of buzzkills on Twitter, which, by the way, I didn't notice any of the backlash myself, but I'm curious. Was the backlash coming from the right or the left? Or was it just a political mix? You know? And I mean, maybe some people it's just it's a thing where they think of their own parents and like, I wouldn't want my mom or dad to have this happening at their nursing home or whatever. But it's like, look, I got news for you guys. Old people are people too, dog. Old people are people too. And they got a lot of the same interest as young people. Now, maybe those interests, an interest like sex, the urge happens fewer and far between because you're really old and your libido has dropped significantly, but doesn't mean that you never have a libido, right? So, let them live. By the way, an interesting fact which makes sense in the context of this story is there were articles about how there was a massive spread of STDs. Where? In nursing homes. Because it turns out a lot of the old people are kind of treating it just like it was back in the college days and there's a frat house or a sorority house. And they're like, hey, we got a lot of time on our hands. What can we do? We'll watch reruns of Murder, She Wrote, pop a few Xanaxes, and get funky with it, you know? I'm sure, how many old people in nursing homes have popped both like a Xanax and a Viagra, or Cialis or whatever, and had some weird, zoned out type funky sex acts going on? Look, I don't want to be talking about old people boning, but fact of the matter is, people are too goddamn puritanical. People are going at like, this is the most awesome thing I've ever seen. I want to give props to this nursing home. The only thing I'm pissed about is that they apologized. Because it shows that they also still care. Like, okay, we've got to do something these people will really enjoy. So have the bingo, have the karaoke, and have a stripper. Why the fuck not? Why not? And I'm sure a lot of these people, by the way, have, you know, maybe a significant other who passed away 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever the fuck. People are probably fucking lonely, man. They're lonely. Let them live. Nobody's getting hurt here. Everybody's having a good time. So people who are coming out against this, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to ban strippers from being a thing? Do you want to ban all sex work? Is that the idea? Do you want old people to play the role that you approve of in your mind, which is like you're a totally asexual, you know, being who has zero like desires and you're just supposed to sit there and drool and, you know, read a magazine or some shit? What do you want? What do you want? Anyway, I think it's really cool. They shouldn't have apologized. If anything, when they got criticism, they should have been like, we're going to hire a stripper now like every Tuesday. Because fuck you, that's why. All right, guys. That is the show. I love y'all very much. Bear with me for my shameless plugs. I want to thank everybody who's a Patreon member who donates to this show every month. You guys mean the world to me. You guys keep the show going. So if you like the show, please consider supporting on Patreon. You can give $2 a month, $5 a month, $7 a month, whatever you're comfortable giving. Really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who's a member over on our Substack for Crystal Kyle and Friends. You guys make that show work as well. Again, very proud to say, never had a conversation with an advertiser in over a decade, and I plan on keeping it that way because you guys have made that possible. So you guys are awesome. And for anybody listening on YouTube, like and subscribe and click that bell because that certainly helps in the algorithm when the algorithm shows your boy no love to begin with. So And for everybody else, if you haven't checked out the show in podcast form, go on over to Spotify or Google Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and check out the show in podcast form, because I'm enjoying it. I'm actually liking doing the podcasts and dropping them on their own. I think that's really cool. I think that's kind of fun. And sometimes when I'm on a long drive, if I want to check for mistakes or whatever, I'll listen back to it and see what's going on. But anyway, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.